content of this tutorial is taken directly from the college curriculum, the curriculum published in 2010. These are the components of gastrointestinal physiology that you're expected to cover. So we're going to look at gut wall structure, we're going to look at saliva, we're going to look at the swallowing mechanism. We're going to talk quite a lot about stomach physiology. We're going to be looking at gastric mucus, how the intestinal hormones work, secretin and cholecystokinin, along with gastrin. We're going to look at the components of bile, and we're going to look to some extent at small and large bowel function. We're going to start by looking at the gut wall structure. So starting off with the mucus layer, the innermost of the layers seen in this diagram. So if we focus on this area, we've got the epithelium in the center, which may vary in terms of its number of goblet cells and the actual epithelial cells, the absorptive surface, etc. This then has a basement membrane which maintains its shape. And then beneath the epithelium marked here, we have what's known as the lamina propria, which is a connective tissue which contains blood vessels and also lymphatics, which are important in absorption. Beneath these layers, we then have the muscularis mucosa. This is a double layer of muscles which are able to move the epithelial surface independent of the actual peristaltic waves going through the gut itself. So they are able to produce small and fairly local movements of the surface of the gut. Stretching through from the submucosa, there may be glands emptying through into the lumen of the gut. Our next subject is salivary glands. We need to know something about the anatomy of these and about their secretions and the content of their secretions. So there are three pairs. The largest, of course, is the parotid glands, and these produce a watery secretion known as a serous secretion, very similar to tears, isotonic. And a major component of this is amylase, which begins to work on polysaccharides, starch and glycogen within the food actually within the mouth. So it starts the digestive process before the food bolus has actually left the mouth. The next subject to look at is that of swallowing. We need to know something of the mechanics of swallowing. If we look at a section through the mouth, looking particularly at the tongue and the pharynx and the epiglottis, and then imagine a food bolus shown in green being ingested. The initial stage of swallowing is voluntary and is known as the oral phase. In this, the bolus is carried backwards against the roof of the mouth by the tongue, and a depression forms in the center of the tongue, which gradually moves backwards, carrying the bolus backwards. In this way, the bolus is propelled through into the oropharynx.